Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European indices for the 23rd of March, and starting with the DAX here on the daily chart, we're looking at 5 waves down. So we have 1 and 2 here, and wave 3 down to 8,000. Wave 4 here, it pulled back to the wave 4 of one lesser degree, but didn't pull back up to the 38.2% retracement level, but that's okay. But wave 4 still may get a bit more complicated here. It may have this is the A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here, and then down, or it's going to move straight down from here. So you'll just need to keep your stops out of the way if you're going to continue down here. 4-hour chart, we can move into here. Let me just get this opened up a little bit. So yeah, so you can see here the 38.2% retracement level is a little bit higher here. This move up here is corrective, and we'll look at that. The market's just opened here in Asia now at 9 a.m. in Asia, so the futures are open here. So yeah, look, I just think this should continue down into wave 5 here, and moving in here onto the 1-hour chart here. That's not telling us too much. We'll just move into the 15-minute chart here for this. So yeah, from wave 4 here we've had 1 and 2, 5 waves down here for 3, 4 and 5 for the wave 5 of 3 here. And then we can't count this up here in 5 waves because well, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, because wave 4 here overlaps wave 1 here. So we need to look at this as an A and a B and a C wave for the A wave, back for the B wave, and so on. Further up, you could also count that differently in a corrective manner as well, but it still doesn't matter. We're still looking at here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So this is opened here. It's be the third of the third wave here, so we still need to work lower here for the DAX and the FTSE. So the FTSE has worked lower. It's been one of the weaker markets on the scene because this is a monthly chart, and you can see here that it topped out here. So it spent all these months moving down here as wave 1 and back for wave 2 here, and then 1 and 2 here. So it's been bearish, well before the others. The count that I've got for this though is that even though that this low here is probably a little bit higher than this one here, on the S&P 500 it was lower. On the DAX it was higher than this low here. So it's possible to count this up as 1 and back for 2 here, but I doubt it. We're better off like this here as an A and a B and a C, the same as the S&P 500. And then we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, having a top here of primary. And this can also be, I'd have to put another wave 5 on top here for the grand super cycle. So it's possible that we have a more serious top here. The other play here is quite interesting, is because we could also look at this 2 here as, it's a long shot, but I'll just put it here anyway. This is more yeah, a little bit different, but basically an A wave down to here, down onto this low here of the next degree higher, and then an A and a B and a C wave up here for a B wave. So what we're looking here is a very large expanded flat. So an A wave here, an A and a B and a C wave here for a B wave here, and then down for a C wave here. It's probably not the case, and I'll probably chuck it out. But at the same time here, for the meantime, it doesn't really bother us, because what we're actually looking at here is a bearish move from this top down through here. So on the weekly chart here, so as I mentioned, we could look at this as wave 5 or wave B here. This is wave 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 here. So we're in this third of a third here, which is not completed as yet. so we can move in here further on this here. So still wave 1 here and wave 2 here, and wave 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2 here, and moving down here for this here. So I've lined this particular count up here with the rest of the world in terms of this wave being a wave 3 here and a wave 4 here, but I have to say that this would line up with the DAX and also the S&P 500, but I'm not happy with it. So I think where this, see how I've got the grayed out wave 3 here? I think for the FTSE, that's what we're actually looking at here for this. But we'll get into that. But in the meantime here, we're still looking for this wave 5 to move down lower here. So on the 4-hour chart here, this is where I've got it counted differently here. So from the wave 2 top here, I've got 1 here and 2 here. And I think it's worth looking at this, you know, as we move down here. So I can count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the 1, back for the 2 here, then 5 waves in this sequence for 1 here and 2 here, and 3 here and 4 here. This is the only probably a little slight overlap here, and then wave 5 to the downside here as wave 3. So basically, you know, in the last count that I've had wave 4 sitting, if I copy that, sitting over here, that would line up with the S&P and all the rest of it. But I don't know, because, you know, that top back, way back, had been much more bearish, you know, before any of these other, this has been the leader to the downside in a way, you know. So, but anyway, I'll stay with both counts until I get my head around it. But wave 3 here, an A and a B and a C here. I could change this. Yeah, I could change it around. I could put, well, if I was going to change it around, I could probably put wave 3 here, such. But I'll just leave it. It'll still be the same count anyway. So it'll only be different in this rally here. So it'll just keep me. If I keep this count here with wave 3 here and 4 here and 5 here, it will keep me awake at the wheel, because I may have to, you know, adjust the S&P count or something. So, but anyway, we're looking for, you know, this move down through here, and then a retest of this here. I mean, in the bigger picture, the 5,000, number 5 is the second strongest number in the market, and what we can see here is the market has done all the right things for moving lower. It's come down, it's bounced off this level here, but it hasn't gone back and retested it, you know. So that's something that I think this wave 4 can do here before we see a lower thing here as well. So I still see further downside for all of this. So I'll just put this on here, and then I'll go to the hourly chart here. I guess all I can say here in that this is not completed, so we'll be coming down here further. A couple of things here, we can just put in the levels here. So 4.8 is important, somewhere there. The next number down is 4.5 here, but there's also group 2 in there, but I'll just put that 4.5, and then 4.3 here, so the beginning of group 1 here. So adjust that later. But also here between 5 and 8, we've got the 4,650. Maybe I'll just go to the 15-minute chart. That might be more helpful. So 4, 5, and this one here. So I'll just put in these here. These are just other levels that you'll need to look out for. So that's 650, 4,650, and 4,720 here. So in a nutshell, this is group 2 here, 65, 72, and 80. And they're useful numbers. There'll be other important numbers in here. The 600 is going to be important, 700 is going to be important. But we just normally work with group 2 here. But we can see that this structure is not finished yet. This is, I can see a couple of ways to count this, but the gap makes it a little bit difficult. But we're in the third wave here. I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this little leg here. So this could be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for that. So we can look at this here as, if I can just copy this here for a second. And this will be the third wave down. In the third wave, we'll look at this as being wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just double checking that. It has to be 1 and 2 in here, and this will be a third wave, and that will need to finish off in space here. So we'll get some sort of wave 4 in here before seeing any further downside here for this, but it still has to move down lower for this. Okay, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate the support. Cheers.
Report unless it's done.
Really?
Just holding up some floats.